I am Doreen Holmes. I'm from the smallest state in the United States, Rhode Island, as you can tell by my accent. I lived here my entire life and I'll never leave. I went for a routine eye exam and I kept thinking I had to get stronger reading glasses from the dollar store because I couldn't read. So I went to the eye doctor just to get stronger reading glasses. And she said to me, she said, Doreen, I'm sorry. I see something in your pictures, so I'll get you in with Dr. Prescott, who is a retina specialist. So I went to him the next day, and he said to me, have you heard of macular degeneration? And I said, that's not the thing that makes you go blind. He said, we got it in time. He said, I'm going to help you. He said, but my main question is, before you walked into this office, what did you want to do? And what is making you stop doing that now that I gave you the news? I said, I wanted to be a yoga teacher. He said, so? I said, what do you mean so? Like, so what, big deal? He goes, no, so why don't you become one? He was hysterical. So he said, what is stopping you? I said, well, nothing. So he said, do you take yoga? I said, I've been taking yoga for 10 years. And I said, I'm not gonna let this get me down. I am gonna be that yoga teacher. The one expression I dislike the most is, you don't look blind. Well, what does that look like? So last year, I was walking up to the ride bus, and there was these 3 old women sitting on the bench, and one of them said, I hope she's not getting on that ride bus because she doesn't look elderly and she doesn't look like she's disabled. So my little Portuguese driver, I love him to death. He said, tell him off, Doreen, tell him off. I'm like, so you make that judgment call. Should you let it go? And I said, no, I'm going to speak for the ones that can't speak for themselves. I turned around, I said, ma'am, very politely, I said, are you paying for my bus? And she said, no. I said, well then, what does it matter? Am I taking your seat? There's nobody on the bus. It's a small bus. Am I taking your seat? She goes, no. I said, then what does it matter if I'm getting on this bus? She said, well, you don't look old and you don't look disabled. I said, I am half blind and I'm 73 years old. So she said, oh my. So her other friend said, shame on you. You know that bus driver wouldn't take my fare of $4. He wouldn't take it. So I got one more thing to say. As fate has it, the next day, I went to the store and there was a woman in front of me. I couldn't see who it was. And she was trying to pull shopping carts apart. I said, ma'am, would you like some help? She turned around and she said, do I know? Yes. Do I know you? And I said, you do. And she said, was I not kind? I said, you are not. I said, you know what, ma'am? I said, sometimes disabilities are not visible. It was a pleasure. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. I'm so honored to do this.